everyone, my name is Anna Marie Bagan, representing the town of Arima from the Miss World Trinidad and Tobago franchise. Today I'm here with Biz TV to answer a few questions. What's your favorite music genre, and do you have a favorite artist or band? So, I like 80s and 90s music. I would say I'm an old soul. I'm an old soul, and I love 90s, 80s. If I had to choose a favorite artist or band, it would be The Police. It's an 80s band. So if you young kids out there have not heard about it, go research it. Start listening to old music. Your parents have good taste in music. You just gotta listen to them. What inspired you to participate in the Miss World pageant? So I was volunteering at the Princess Elizabeth Center before I entered the pageant. There was one little girl who came in to have this surgery done, and she has impacted me in a huge way that I can't even explain how much she's impacted me. And I spoke about it a little bit, but when you hear a young child telling you, am I going to be normal after, it affects you in a way, because you look at a child who is supposed to be having fun, playing, and instead what they're thinking about is, am I going to be like the other kids after this? Am I going to be able to fit in? And it's something that all of us have struggled with. It's something I have struggled with. And I saw myself in her that day because I also have scoliosis. And I don't ever want any young child to think that they're not normal. And I want every young child who is suffering with some kind of musculoskeletal disorder to know that I am here for you in any way I can be. And I am trying to advocate for you in the best way possible. And that's why I entered the Miss World pageant, to be an advocate for young people who aren't able to speak for themselves, and to empower young children to know that they can do whatever they put their minds to. Can you share an embarrassing moment from your dance practice or public performance? Oh my God! I always tell people about this story. So I went to St. Xavier's private school, and we would always host certain events or concerts. And this one time we had a Christmas concert coming up, and we were placed into groups in our class to create a song and a dance. We were young kids. We were more involved in going out and playing and mingling with your friends. So I, as a hardworking young little 8-year-old I choreographed and wrote the entire song myself, even though it was a group effort. And I gave the script and everything to the group members a day before to practice. Needless to say, they didn't practice, and we went on stage and no one knew their lines except for me, because I wrote the piece, of course. And it was a hot mess, but it's okay because people still cheered for me. So I did a good thing. I can write songs under pressure occasionally and choreograph dances. Who knew? What are some of your favorite foods or cuisines? Actually, I'm very hungry right now, and the first thing that comes to my mind is pulori. So that's my favorite food for today. It changes on a daily basis, but pulori, definitely. Okay, if you could talk to one type of animal, which would you choose, and what would you ask them? And this is something I've never thought about. A gazelle. I say that because they have such an interesting life, because they're always on the move, they're always afraid of predators, and they're always on the lookout. To have such anxiety constantly about where your next meal is going to come from, or to take care of your young, is something interesting that I would like to find out. How do they deal with anxiety that well? Because I can't. Where did you grow up? Where did you grow Where did you grow up? So I actually grew up in Arima. However, because of my socioeconomic development and background, and my mother being a single mother, we did end up moving a lot. but I ended up coming back to my hometown, and now I'm representing my hometown. So I would like to say I was homeborn and raised in Arima. I am a Arimian. I don't think that's a thing, but yeah, I'm from Arima. So what are some of your favorite books or movies, and why do you love them? So I love the Percy Jackson book series. It's what got me into Greek mythology and furthered me into other types of mythology such as Norse and Egyptian. And I have now a deep developed love and interest for mythology, to the point that my dogs are named after a lot of mythological gods. So I have Zeus, Venus, and Pluto. Those are my 3 dogs. I don't think I've told anyone that. So they have been very influential to me, and I love learning about mythologies and what people thought religions were like in the past. And I'm actually trying to go and study maybe a lot of Aztec mythology as well. I'm just interested in history in a very unique and cool way. What are some of your hobbies and interests? So I am a big nerd. So yes, I spoke about the Percy Jackson series just now. And then I also kind of spoke about Harry Potter. So besides, loving the pop culture, normal fun things, I enjoy crocheting. I'm actually teaching the kids to crochet for my Beauty with a Purpose project, the 21 Degrees project. And I paint, I do art. I think it's such an amazing way to heal and to ensure that your anxiety and depression is able to be coped with. Crocheting is also a great aspect, and journal for that as well. How did you become interested in biomedical technology, and what do you find most rewarding about this field? So for everyone who does not know what biomedical technology is, it's basically a combination of engineering and medicine. I deal with repairing medical machines in all aspects of either the hospital or in, manufacturing states. What really drew me to this particular field is actually the radiation and biophysics aspect of it. I love learning about mutations, and I hope to further my educational studies in biomedical physics with a specialization in medical physics. So I hope that answers the question. How do you hope to make a lasting impact on your community through your various roles? I believe that advocating for children who have special needs and are differently abled can really push our country forward in a positive light and in a positive way, because these children are still the future of our country, differently abled or not, and we need to encourage and allow them to continue growing. I am doing this by trying to implement and teach children trades so that they can be self-employed. And I really do hope that this can impact our future and our socio-economic development in a huge way. And how do you balance your time between being a biomedical technician, writing poems, dancing, and your charity work? When you put it like this, it seems like a lot. But I think they say, if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. I think that's it. If you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. And sometimes you're just like, I want to write a poem. And you don't have to pull out a book and spend hours, drawing on the drawing board. You could just pull out your phone and write something very quick. So it's really not that hard. You just find time for the things you love, and sometimes the small things are what adds up in the end. What has been the most challenging aspect of your journey so far, and how have you overcome it? Most challenging aspect was coming out of my cocoon and evolving, because I was such a quiet person who thought that being kind was the same thing as being walked over. That's the word I would use. I would let people walk over me and say, okay, but it's fine. So what I've learned is that sometimes you need to look after yourself first, and you need to make sure that you are shining, even if it means that others aren't going to like it. So don't be a people pleaser, ever. There's so many questions. What are your future goals? So one of my future goals is to get my master's in biomedical physics with a specialization in medical physics, start working in the medical physics field, start working with the radiation and chemotherapy treatment in multiple hospitals in Trinidad and Tobago. I want to bring more awareness in the healthcare sector to differently abled people, to people who may be suffering with musculoskeletal disorders. I'm really here to be an advocate and keep pushing to improve the healthcare system in Trinidad and Tobago, because it's so important and so crucial. How do you define success, and what does it look like to you in all areas of your life? For me, success is about happiness. And if you are able to be happy and content with what you have currently, you will never feel the need for more. And that's what success is to me. To be able to sit down in a room and be comfortable in my own body, to be comfortable in my own skin, and not only look at myself from my accomplishments. Because I am so much more than just a graduate of biomedical technology. I'm so much more than a Miss World delegate. I am a human being who is existing in this plane right now. And that is amazing in every single way. So that's what success is to me. Being happy with who you are whenever and whatever phase you are in your life. So this was the end of me answering questions with this TV. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned a lot about me, not a little, a lot.